from different Latin American countries got together in New York, started mixing together. Rhythms like mambo, cha-cha-cha, sol cubano, pachanga, which is what we used to listen to here in Colombia, they all started mixing together. And why is it so important to know that this started in New York? Because they also mixed with an American rhythm, which is jazz. Salsa has a huge jazz influence. And it's why you must keep in mind that this started in New York. It's like constantly, it was mostly around the end of the 50s, beginning of the 60s, when this started to happen. And this is why they actually called it salsa, because they couldn't tell apart all of these different Latin rhythms, so they were just starting to call all of this salsa. Makes sense, because salsa, what is salsa? Salsa means sauce. And sauce is like a mixture of many different things, so it just makes sense, right? So all of this till now is in the States. So how did salsa arrive here in New York? I mean, in Colombia. A lot of people don't know this, but Colombia participated helping the U.S. during the Korean Wars between 1950 and 1953. This is around the time where South Korea and North Korea divided themselves. And for this help, the U.S. wanted to thank Colombians and gave them a lot of traveling permits or working permits to go to the U.S. So many Colombians traveled to New York, and these people started bringing back the music. And of course, apart from that, like every musical rhythm has its own like natural process of expansion. So eventually it arrived here as well. When salsa arrived here in Colombia, it was very badly seen. It had a terrible reputation because it was only listened to and danced to by the popular classes. Like the upper, higher classes looked upon it like very mean. Like they associated mainly with thieves and like robbery and delinquency. It was very badly seen. So how come it's so popular today? How come it's so popular, especially here in Cali? Well, we've talked many times today about the Cali cartels. They completely destroyed the image everybody has of Cali, and like they did a lot of harm to the country in general. But we do have to recognize that they did one good thing, just one. And it's that they invested a lot in the salsa industry. Why? Well, these people weren't rich people at first. They were actually very humble people. And with all of the money and power they got, they decided to invest it in what they liked. And what they liked was this kind of music. So they invested a lot of money, bringing many artists from different countries, but especially they invested in groups from here, local music groups. And that's where Jairo Varela appears. Jairo Varela is actually not from Cali. He's from Quibdó, which is the capital of El Chocó. It's the department I was telling you about in the north of Valle del Cauca in the Pacific. He was very talented. Like at the age of 9, he learned to play the guitar. He had his first musical group when he was 11. He was very good. But he realized that if he stayed in Chocó, he wasn't going to succeed at a musical career. So he decided to move to Bogotá. And in Bogotá, he created this group, which is Grupo Nietzsche, which is our most iconic salsa group here in Cali. They quickly moved here to Cali because it was here in Cali where everything was like moving forward for salsa because of the cartel. So they moved here and they adopted this city. This city adopted them. It was like love at first sight. And they're very famous here, especially because of one song. Do you know it?
No. I mean, I definitely know it. I just don't know the name.
Cali Pachanguero.
Oh,
Obviously.
Cali.
Yeah. So this is kind of like the anthem of the city. It's a song about someone from Cali, but that lives abroad, and he misses his city, so he starts describing the mountains, the beautiful women, just the soccer matches, everything he likes about Cali. So it's a very beautiful song that all Caleños know, all of us. We all love it, we all know it, we all sing to it. This one, Cali Pachanguero, is probably the most famous one. During La Feria, it doesn't stop, it just plays. So Jairo Varela is like our salsa Michael Jackson, if you want. It's like the biggest icon. And this song was actually nominated as like one of the best songs in Latin America of the 20th century. He wrote more than 200 songs. Unfortunately, 40 of these songs he wrote them from prison. He ended up going to prison for 4 years because he was avoiding taxes, and also he had some like links to the cartel. This wasn't completely proved, but it was kind of, they found out about some stuff he was doing with them, so he went to prison for it. But even so, he's still like culturally speaking, a huge figure here in Cali, and that's why after he passed away on the 8th of August of 2012, they built this plaza in his name and in the name of Grupo Nietzsche. Over here, this is a museum dedicated to Grupo Nietzsche and salsa in Cali. All right. So now I'm going to talk about the characteristics of salsa caleña, because there are different types of salsa. Here in Cali, we have the fastest salsa in the world. When salsa arrived here in Cali, it arrived in this form, long clips, which used to turn 33 revolutions per minute. But here we used to listen to pachanga, which is a very fast rhythm. So people started turning this faster because they thought it would be more interesting, to make it more like pachanga. And they thought it would be like a challenge to make the same steps, but just like with an increased rhythm. So they started turning them at 45 revolutions per minute. And then they just started making faster songs, and voila. But it's a very important thing. Second characteristic would be the fact that it's a very sensual dance. It's a very beautiful dance. It's always danced in couples. If you see two people that know how to dance salsa very well, it's stunning. It's really beautiful. And then the third characteristic would be how acrobatic it is. Let me explain. This is just for professionals. Don't expect me to do what they do. But and you go to a salsa show here in Cali, they pick the girl up and they throw her in the air, they turn her around. It's amazing. It's really incredible, and it's typical from here. But again, just for professionals. But yeah, don't try it at home. But yeah, especially the main thing would be the speed. Very fast salsa. Okay. What we have here is the lyrics of the song. So you can listen to the percussion. This is actually not very fast for Cali salsa, this song. Let's go listen to the melody. This is Jairo Varela's voice.
La mujer que yo quiero, el jilguero que canta,
Sounds weird.
allí es que se levanta,
So now let's go listen to the
carnaval en
whole thing together.
Juanchito.
Alright guys, so I'm gonna teach you the basic steps. Do you know how to dance salsa a little bit? No.
Es por eso que espero
So I'm just gonna teach you the basic
que
steps.
lejos
So just take one foot and you do like a diagonal line behind you, and you lift the other.
los caminos conducen a
Then you come back to the center and you do the same thing with your left. With your
vieron la pena que un día
But I just do it slow. It's just like here. And now you have to do it with the rhythm. So it would be something like
que todo, que todo, que todo, que todo, que todo el mundo que cante, que todo el mundo que mire, celoso estoy pa' que mire, no me voy más ni por mí.
yeah, because it's a mirror. You do it with someone like this, like the other person is doing. In flag, it's almost always blood. In this case, it's the blood of the Caliman. Indigenous murdered by the Spanish. White, it's not purity or peace or anything like that. It's actually sugar and fruit. And the green is for the two mountain chains that surround our city and just nature in general that we have here in Cali.
Entregando la tajada de la rebanada. A 500 bien dicho, bien fría, llegó la piña. Oiga, bien oro, recibiendo la isla de la piña. A 500, 500. Oiga, me
now I'm trying Lunada. Wow, it's a mixture of fruits and a little bit of sweetener, condensed milk, and ice. Let's go try another one.